Hi guys, this is Sohel and today we are gonna learn how to add authentication to our project. So we will be using Firebase for this. So I'll quickly go up here and add a new project. Let's give it a name auth sample. Click on continue. Okay, so by default the Google Analytics will get enabled. So you can use this feature for like checking your data and all and analytics purposes. So yeah, and I'll be selecting my default account for the Firebase. Okay, so in the meantime we can make some specific changes. So for this we will be needing to input tags to store the mail IDs and the passwords, and secondly we would need a button, right, to submit the code. Okay, so let's create here two input tags, uh, and this will be the button here. Let's add placeholder, let's say email, and placeholder of password, right, and let's specify the type here as password. All right, so if we check this now, we have got the two input boxes and a button. All right, so to improve the visibility we can update the CSS a bit. let's uh, let's let's position this thing in the center, right? So let's give it a height of around 100 ph will do, and next align it in the center, so this will place the thing in the center. Okay, so yeah, and what else can we do is, okay, so what I'll do for this, like, I'll create a separate def tag named as input. Okay, let's give it a class name as inputs, and I'll create a separate def tag for this. Okay, so now if we see here, okay, so I'll go here quickly and let's add inputs here. Okay, so I'll add quickly here display flex, and here I'll add display flex, and to make it one after another we can add the column direction. Okay, and lastly we can provide a padding of around 10 px and a margin of 10 px, so this will improve the visibility a bit. So yeah, I think this is the minimal thing we require. And yeah, so now if we go to the Firebase one, the sample has been created, right? Okay, so the sample has been created and we can click here continue. All right, so here now we need to click on this symbol to get the React code. uh, Firstly we need to register our application. I'll give the same name, you can give any name if you want. Let's give your authentication and sample something. Okay, so while it's creating, we can, okay, so we need use state to store the like mail IDs and the passwords, right? So let's add those things. Let's add your password, set password, and try to use camel cases for the setter one. Okay, and use state as, and for the email portion we can use your email. And all right, cool. So if we can provide the on change feature here. Sorry. All right, so if it changes we'll pass the event here. Let's say e. You can give any variable if you want. Okay, so after passing it I'll give here like set email e dot target dot value to get the changed values. Okay, that's all. Now we need to do the same thing. I'll copy this one to save our time. Okay, and for this we can give you set password. All right, so if I want to check it if it's changing or not, we can do this here. All right, let's do it. Password, and let's give you our email. Okay. All right, so if we go here now. All right, fine. Now let's jump back to the Firebase code. So we need to install this module using npm. I'll open this up. All right, so our thing has finally been installed. Now let's copy this code from here and let's make a file here, firebase.js, and paste this one here. We won't be needing the analytics now, so I'll be removing this portion. All right, so okay, and here. All right, now what we need to do is see. Uh, Firstly, I'll go here in the console. Okay, you need to click on build here, and you can check there are various features like fast to database, real-time database. But for now we will be moving to authentication. Okay, and let's click here on get started. So there are different kind of providers like Google, GitHub, Twitter, Microsoft, again so on, but for today we'll use the most basic one, which is email and password. Okay, so I'll click here, I'll enable this thing here, and I'll click on save. Okay, so it has been enabled here. All right, so I'll quickly come here. Okay, now you need to import here, import get auth, okay, from Firebase, and this is in auth folder. Yeah, this thing. Okay, after doing this thing, you need to export. Let's name the variable auth. Okay, so you need to export auth. So what will it be? It will be like this unique details, like your API key, domain, project ID. You need to pass it, okay, up to your main app.js. Okay, so to do this, you will need get auth. Okay, so this will basically pass it securely, and it can be used for different kinds of authentication and various other purposes. Okay, so get auth, and here you need to write app. All right, so after you have successfully done this, you can go to app.js and you can write here import. We will be importing the auth variable, this one. Okay, so you have done this. uh, this is basically an object, okay, where various details will get passed. Like if you wanna, let's console log this one. Okay, I can use here use effect. So console dot log. Let's pass here this one. Okay, okay, so this is the details you will be getting. So if we check the our various details like promise, operations, later and all. Okay, so uh, you can basically check these things yourself. All right, so now let's jump back to the main part. Okay, so we need to import now. Okay, so we are registering ourselves using email and password. Okay, so you can type your email. I think it was, wait a second, it was use email. Yeah, sorry, create email. Okay, so it was create user with email and password. You need to import this one. From here you will be getting like various things like signing out, login, and okay. So yeah, now after we have done this, let's remove this one. Okay, so after we have done this, we need to click. Okay, so here, so when we are clicking on submit, I want my details to get submitted and to get registered, right? So I'll click here on I'll give your on click, and inside it let's write, we'll be writing this one, which is create user with email and password, and we will be passing here auth, our email, and our password. Okay, okay, now it's better to make this function async, and we can add here a wait. All right, so now when it's successfully done, let's give a try block here. So this is the try block, and we can add a catch block here to catch if there's any kind of error. Sorry. the catch block will have a significant role in the project. We'll see it later. Okay, so now if it's successfully submitted, let's give an alert message saying successfully submitted. All right. Okay, now let's go here, reload this thing, and let's type something a@gmail.com, and I should type here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, submit. Okay, so this has been successfully submitted. Now we can see like the details of the user here. So yeah, as you can see that it has been submitted. We can try different mail IDs like a suppose 123. Okay, and if we click on submit here, it will submit it. And I think we need to reload this. Okay, so we have got this. Now error handling is really important in such kind of projects. So okay, so there are various errors you can face. Okay, among this, the two errors you need to handle properly is invalid mail ID firstly, and secondly is, see, if you give a password which is less than 6 characters, Firebase won't accept it, right? So if you can like you can see here actually 1 2 I'm typing. Let's change this something to B or something. Yeah, so yeah, so 1 2, and let's, instead of console log, let's alert this thing. Oh wait, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. uh yeah, let's alert the error. Okay, so if we do this now, I think, yeah, so if we do this now and click on submit, then you can see that password should be minimum of 6 characters, right? Now how to handle this thing, right? So this this thing is our main error. So we will get two things like a weak password, first error, and second error was, I think, invalid mail or something. I need to check it once. I think it was invalid mail or something. If I give an invalid mail, yeah, invalid mail. Okay, so we can get the messages, okay, like the specific error messages using err.code. Okay, so you will get only that message here. Okay, if I click submit now, you will get auth slash invalid email. So if I click on submit now, you will be getting this thing. So how to do this is basically just copy this thing and do a check here. So if err.code, sorry, if err.code equals, then let's give an alert message here. Let's give your invalid mail ID, right? uh, and sorry, and else if the error dot code equals, this will be weak password. Okay, so weak password, then what we need to do is then give an alert message saying password should be should be minimum of 6 characters. Okay. All right, so if you go now here, let's click on reload once, and if I give a normal email and I give, yeah, so if we see here, we are getting this message which we had written here, and for a shorter password, if we go here, let's and let's make it a smaller one. Okay, and if we click on submit, you'll get password should be a minimum of 6 characters. All right. Okay, so we have done this one. Now the second thing which comes is logging in, right? And let's say like before logging in, let's say uh, you want to remain signed in. Like for example, you create a website with an authentication page, and like after successfully authenticating it, you leave the page, right? So the next time when you come in, you want to stay signed in, right? So how can we do this? We can actually use effect here. Okay, I'll remove this thing. Let's create a function. Let's say const fetched. Okay, so anything fetched equals auth dot. So if there is any change in the state of the auth, okay, then this function will get triggered. So when we open the website, okay, if we had already signed in, so for a fraction of second, okay, auth won't have any user credentials, but when its state will get changed after successfully loading of the user credentials, this function will like get triggered. Okay, so let's pass it. We can pass an event here. Let's say user. Okay, and if user matlab sorry, this means that if the user is present, okay, it's not like that you haven't signed in, but it still like shows you signed in, right? So firstly this will check if there is any user credentials with which you had signed in first. If it is so, then what it will do is it will set our email with user.email. We will get our mail ID. Okay, so instead of using this, let's make a new state for this. Let's call it current email. Let's call this current email. Okay, and let's call it set current email. Okay, so here we can write here set current email. Okay, so that's all, and else if there isn't any. Okay, so why am I writing here else? Okay, so if you think about it clearly, okay, say you are logging out. Okay, so when you're logging out, it can't keep your information saved, right? When you're logging out in different websites, they won't keep your information saved in the form of cookies and all. So what I'll do, I'll set the current email to the empty string. Okay, we like a good practice is to use cookies. There is a module named universal cookies, but we will learn about it later. So now let's say I want to display this one as, so I'll do here what I'll current email. Okay, I'll do here, and Here I'll pass auth, and I'll call the function. uh, we need to clean it up, right? So I'll use this syntax for a cleaned up function and fetched just like this. So if you see here, okay, so we are getting this now. Let's sign in with a different mail ID. Let's give anything. Let's give soda at the rate rediffmail.com. Okay, and let's give a password 123456. Okay, and let's click on submit. Okay, now if I leave this and if I again come in, yeah, you can see that my mail ID has been saved, right? And you can do it with cookies as well, but like this is also a cool trick if you want to use. So you will remain signed in, and we can say that like if mm, if this is true, then alert, and let's say email found or something like this. Okay, let's see. And okay, so if I come here again inside, yeah, all right, so now let's remove this one. Okay, now the two remaining features we need to see is login and signing out. So for signing, it's the same thing, to be honest. uh, let's create another button. I'll just copy this one. Okay, so let's create another button. Let's say login. Okay, wait a second. Login, and okay, so console.log error. Okay, and in place of this we just need to substitute with sign in with mail and password. That's all. Successfully logged in. uh, all right. I don't remember the passwords, to be honest. I had done like soda at the rate, yeah, soda at the rate 1234. uh, let's make a new one. ASD at the rate gmail.com. Okay, and 123456. All right, so let's click on submit. It has been submitted. I'll just check it once. ASD at the gmail.com, right? So if we, let's move out from here, and all right, so okay, so if I give here ASD at the rate gmail.com and 123456, if you click on submit, this will show that the mail is already present. You can, if you want, I didn't give the alert, else alert error. Let me add the else here. Else else error. Okay, so if you click on submit here, yeah, you can see that email present. Okay, already present. So Let's click on login here. So we have successfully logged in. All right, so you can log in using this feature, or there are various kinds of login problems. Okay, errors if I give a wrong password, say 97 something, and if I click on login, then I guess I have console logged error. Wait, I need to check in the console. Yeah, invalid credentials. You have got this error. Let's give an alert to you, like, so that this thing will be easier for us. Alert and AERR. Again, I'll click on login. Invalid credential. If I give the right password 123456 and click on login, successfully logged in. Okay, so let's say we are logged in using this, but we want to log in using a different account. I honestly do not remember the passwords. Let's check with soda@gmail.com, and it was ready for mail, or else we need to make a new one and do it. So it can be like 123456. Okay, so let's click on login and validate. I think it was different. Okay, so let's make a new one. Let's give here gmail.com with the same name and different domain it should take, and let's give 987654321. Okay, let's click on submit. Okay, it has been made now. Now if we go out and again come in, we will, okay, now we are logged in using soda, right? And we want to log in using a this one. If you see that the soda@gmail.com has been created, yeah, this one, and we want to log in using this one, so I'll do it. It should be cast@gmail.com, and uh, here we need to type 123456. Okay, so login, successfully logged in. Okay, so we have successfully completed our login section, our sign up section, and the sign out is also kind of similar and easy, to be honest. So sign out is the easiest, to be honest. Just you need to pass the auth. Okay, I'll again copy this thing to save time, and let's copy this one. So we have copied it, and let's click here. Okay, and let's name this one logout. Okay, logout, and here inside the tribe, here we can, here so there will only be one possible error. Like there can be different types of errors, but the most common error is like you haven't signed in with any like account, but when you are clicking logout, so there will be a kind of error. So what you can do is if like you can check, okay, like if you are signed in or not, and yeah, that's all. So I'll type here error, and here I'll just, you need just remove this one and write here sign out. Okay, and just pass the auth here, and here you need to write successfully logged out. Sorry, that was successfully logged out. Okay, and if I see, yeah, it should turn this to an empty string when we are logging out. Let's check. Okay, so let's reload this one, and if I click on log out here, successfully logged out. Yeah, we have finally completed the thing. I hope you have understood everything, and thanks for watching, guys.